What's going on, guys? It's your man, Ed Hayes, the wholesale coach here, back for another podcast. And in this podcast, you're going to be listening to a real game dropper right here. Q interview one of our latest additions to our wholesaling team out here in Chicago. His name is Moses. He's only been wholesaling for about 6 weeks now, and he just cashed out on $3,300 just recently on his first deal, guys. So if you're pumped for this content, go ahead and hit that subscribe button wherever you're checking out this content, and let's go ahead and get into it.
I want it all, expensive trip, exotic cars. When I took that loss.
You listen to another episode of the Wholesale Masterman podcast. This is Q speaking. What's going on, guys? And today we got a superstar named Moses Chess. So I'm gonna introduce this rock star wholesaler right now, and I've been working with this guy for a little while now, and just to see him evolve into the person he has by working hard is pretty dope. So I'm gonna bring him on now. We're gonna deep dive into his first deal he just closed not too long ago. So Mo, what's going on, man?
How you feeling? Pretty good, man.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So for those that don't understand what wholesaling is, it is the art of finding deeply discounted properties. That's all it is. You find a real estate for pennies on a dollar. So Mo, let's deep dive into it. Let's get right to it. What really quick? How long have you been wholesaling real estate?
About probably about I'm gonna say about a month and a half now.
Month and a half. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What got you started? How did you get started? What got you interested in wholesaling?
Well, basically because a lot of people always told me when I seen people before who were into real estate and I seen them owning properties and having businesses, I always asked them about, what's to the real estate game, give me some insight. Everybody always kind of gave me a detour, like you gotta have good credit, you gotta have a bunch of money, you gotta have lawyers, man, you gotta have a bunch of stuff that I didn't have. So I knew deep down in my heart there had to be a better way.
Okay. Okay. And that's something for you guys to jot down while you're listening. You don't need a degree. You don't need a license. You don't need a diploma. You don't need credit. You don't need no money down. You can do all this completely with none of those things. It is so simple. That's great. That's great. All right. So after you learned about wholesaling, um, and after knowing all those things, what were you doing before wholesaling?
I was actually I was apprentice doing construction for the in the union, and it just got real tight because every winter we would never be working, and that was getting real stressful for my family, so it putting a lot of pressure on my wife. So that made me want to figure out a better way, so I had to bring something to the table.
Okay, that's dope. That's dope. And being your own boss, you actually knocked out two birds with one stone, man. That's dope.
Absolutely.
So getting into a wholesaling, what market are you currently in right now?
um
What area
my
you stay in basically?
I live in South Bend, Indiana, and right now it's basically a buyer's market right now.
Okay, okay, okay. So what? So okay. We got it already clear that you closed your first deal. We got that out the way. What marketing strategy did you use to get this seller interested?
Well, what I did was I used bando signs, I used flyers, and I used social media. And what I did was I just started reaching out and basically walking up and down the street, looking at addresses, and then going to the county city building, finding out who the owner was and what's their real address and where they lived at. And I just came back home and started sending out letters. Some people, I think I sent out about 13 letters. I had 13 letters and I had 13 stamps. Out of 13 letters I sent out, 3 people called me.
Okay.
But
So that,
one in particular was the house next door to my house.
so really quick. So your strategy for pulling in fresh leads was some of us call it driving for dollars, but you actually took the determination to walk for dollars. That is so dope, man. So you went out walking for dollars and did your
Yeah,
own skill tracing within yourself by taking yourself down to the county building, getting the owner's information, and sending out direct mail. That's dope.
yeah.
That's dope. Okay, so the house next door. What about it?
The house next door, I've been watching it for quite some time, and I've been living here for almost 3 or 4 years now, and nobody has lived in it. So I began to want to do research on this house, and I found out that it was just sold for a tax lien certificate. It just had been sold for $2,400. So actually, I reached out to that company that owned it, that had bought the tax lien certificate on it, and they actually called me.
Okay. Okay. So what was the home condition when you looked at it? I mean, you've been seeing it for the last 3 years and nobody stayed in it. So when you actually saw it and then reached out, what was the home's condition?
Well, the house, it's a nice house. It just needs some cosmetic work. It needs some love because it's been sitting for like 4 or 5 years because the lady died 2 years before I got here. So it's been sitting here winter after winter. It just needs some love. Somebody go in there and give it some cosmetic love.
Okay, okay. So the people reached out to you as far as selling the home. What did you put the property under contract for?
Well, what I did was this was a little bit different how this ended up coming
Okay, let's
into
talk
play.
about it.
Um, okay, he told me at first he wanted. I know that he paid $2,400 for the property.
So how did you find
He
that? How
told
did you
me
find that out really quick for the people listening?
because when I went down to the county city building, investigating, doing my due diligence on the property, I found out what it was bought for at the tax lien sale and just how much they paid for it.
So
So
that's
I knew that already in
so
advance.
that's all public records. Okay, okay. And so you found out that this guy bought the house for 2,400.
Yeah.
Okay, so what did you get?
So
Okay, go ahead.
So I reached out to him. He ended up calling me back and he says, "Yeah, I own the property." He says the property can't be redeemed until September though, because that's when the redemption period is up for this property. Well, I says, "Okay, well, what do you want to
Okay,
sell it to me for?" He
so
says,
say that part one
"Well,"
more time.
he says, "Well," I said, "So what do you want to sell it to me for?" He says, "Well, I was looking that I want to get 7,500 out the deal." I'm looking at what he bought it for, and I'm saying, no, he trying to triple his money off of me. Okay, so what I did was I just gave him a stall tactic. I said, listen, let me go take another look at the house, and I'll call you back. So I went through and did numbers, and just mildly came up with something. I threw him another number. I said, listen, I can't do 75. I could do 5. He says, well,
5,000,
I
right?
do 50. Yeah. He
Okay.
says, well, I do 52 and we good. I said, okay, cool. That's fine. So he says, you know what? Um, if you sell that property, I got 12 more for you to sell.
So really quick, he got it. He bought the property from a tax sale at 2,400, and
Yeah.
you told the guy that you put under contract of him for 5,200.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. So he tend to make something back off his investment. Okay. Um.
And I turned around and sold it for 8,500.
Okay, so that's what I was trying to get to next. So when you got under contract for him for 52, you marketed it for 8,500.
Yeah.
Okay, that's dope. That's dope. What marketing strategy did you use to market it at the 8,500?
Basically, I just did something real simple. I went on Facebook, and I'm in a lot of groups in my area, business groups, groups that sell stuff, groups with quite a few people in it who from the area who want to buy stuff. And I just uploaded it and put it on Facebook Market, and they started tearing my line down from there.
So as soon as you posted it up, you was just, the phone was ringing off the hook, huh?
Yeah,
That's
they was tearing my inbox down about this property.
that's dope. That's dope. So based on your comps on the property, after you fix this place up, what would you say the ARV would be on that property?
ARV would be somewhere in the city of 40 to 45,000.
Oh man, that's dope. Okay, so all together, what would you say you made off this deal?
I made $3,300 just off doing some paperwork.
Just off doing pay for it, just off wholesaling. Man, that's a
Yeah,
blessing, man. Your first deal made 3,300. That's a blessing.
yeah.
So for all the people listening, let's just say from the time that you got the first call from the person that wants to sell to the end closing, how long did that process take?
I closed on this house in about less than 14 days. I
Less than
closed and got cash in my hand in less than 14 days.
man, that's at least 1,500, almost a little over 1,500 a week that you just made off this one deal, man. That's a blessing. Some people don't even make that in a month. You know,
Yeah.
that's a blessing. That's a blessing. So let's move forward, man. How many more deals that you say you got in the pipeline right now?
Well, this guy right here, he told me once I wire him, once I get him a copy of the contract and I wire him his cut of the money, that he's gonna send me addresses to 12 or to 15 more houses. So my plate gonna be big.
Man, that's dope, man. That's dope. And I remember you telling me something as far as the closing process. When you met with the buyer, how did the closing process go?
Well, I wanted it to be professional, a professional look. So I just reached out to a local notary, and come to find out this local notary was actually a real estate agent who was black. She worked for Century 21. So she let us come to her office. She notarized it as a legal third party in the situation, and it just felt professional.
Man, that's all about the presentation, man. That's so dope. And most deals actually don't get closed that way. It get closed through a title company. So I mean, you finding all kind of ways and loopholes to get deals done. That's dope, man.
Yeah,
So
because even with this deal, he knows that he can't actually get this property till September. How many people gonna give you half of their money and they can't get the property? They gotta wait till September, and then they gotta give you the other half of their money. I mean, it was just a blessing. And then the actual guy that is his company, he actually emailed me a copy of the particular contract that he wanted me to present to whatever seller I get. So it actually explains all the logistics of everything. It's just like too simple.
yeah, what I think what it came down to is these people actually trusted you at the end of the day. You built that rapport and trust for these people to want to buy from you.
Yeah,
It wasn't more so the
absolutely.
property. It was the property played a big part in it. But they had to trust you and your delivery and having the notary lady to present it in a way to get the deal done. I think the whole
Absolutely.
presentation behind it. That is so dope, man. I want to say congratulations again, man. I'm so proud of you because I seen you go through the whole process, man. And you definitely a rock star. And I love to have you
Thank
work
you, bro.
with
I
you.
appreciate it.
So let me just ask you this. I got two more, and that's really true, man. We one thing that I always teach my students is we always ask for earnest money deposits. That's like mandatory within our contracts, and
Mm-hmm.
any student that we have, they have that contract that it lets people know we need the earnest money. So that's definitely key. So, lastly, man, what advice would you give any new wholesaler that may be listening to this podcast if they wanted to get started wholesaling real estate?
I would say, stay persistent, stay persistent, stay persistent. Even when it looks like it's not working, stay persistent. And if you stay persistent, eventually somebody's going to call your phone.
That's so dope, man. That's a blessing, man. Yeah. So you guys hear it first, man. Stay persistent, stay consistent, and also know that with the right mindset, you're going to close a deal. Even if it don't look like a deal is going to get closed, you're going to close a deal regardless. Just like Mo can contest, man. He stayed strong, stayed resilient. And I know you heard plenty of no's throughout the process, but you kept going and closed it. So anybody new out there listening, just stay persistent. You're going to close a deal with the right mindset. That's dope.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, Mo. It was nice having you on the podcast today, man. And we're looking to hear from you soon, doing more deals. Definitely.
Absolutely. Can't wait, man. You've been a real blessing to me and my family, man. Being able to call you at any time and get some valid information from you was really been a blessing to what I'm doing, man. Thank you.
Man, it's been my pleasure to help you and make sure that I can do everything I can to make your dreams come true as a wholesaler and entrepreneur. That's my main goal. The more value I can add to your life, I'm adding to mine because I believe in paying it forward, bro. So the more I can help you and get where you need to go, the more it's gonna put me where I need to be in life. It's a blessing knowing that my hard work and what I did for you actually helped you close, man. That's dope, man, for real.
Absolutely. And that's what's up, Quinn.
That's real talk. So,
Like I
man,
told you, man, I'm like one of them cats you feed. Once you feed him, he gonna keep on coming back. I ain't going nowhere, bro.
that's what's up, man. So it was definitely nice having you on, man. Um, the wholesaling mastermind. You know, we're gonna end this podcast here, man. And it was a blessing talking to Mo today. Hopefully, you guys have had your notebooks out. You took notes. You learned something from this podcast because he dropped a lot of golden gems that you can use in you all's wholesaling business. So, with that being said, until next time, you guys, thanks a lot.
All right, Quinn. Thank
All
you.
right.
All right, guys. So that's the end of this podcast. I hope that you all gained something from those valuable gems that they were dropping up in there, guys. If you like this content, go ahead, hit that like button, guys, and subscribe to the channel. If you're new, go ahead and join this wholesaling journey with us, guys. Also, if you need seller leads, guys, check out www.motivatedsellerleads.org. And also, if you need coaching, contracts, courses, scripts, or any other types of free files that you can imagine, guys, reach out to me on the website, guys. I got everything you need to get up and rolling in no time. Until next time, guys, we are out.
Oh, yeah. You know I'ma get it till I'm in the grave. These niggas, they down.